February 1959, the Ural Mountains, Russia. The search party found something they couldn't explain. The tent had been cut open. Not from the outside, from the inside. The entrance was untouched. Someone had taken a knife and cut their way out. In the middle of the night, in -30 degrees. And inside the tent, their boots, their heavy coats, their gear, all of it was still there. No one had taken anything. Then the bodies began to appear. On the frozen snow. No shoes. No coats. In their underwear. One had a fractured skull with no signs of external impact. The internal damage was catastrophic. Another was missing her tongue. They hadn't had time to put on their shoes. So what exactly was inside that tent? These were not beginners. All 9 held the highest mountaineering certifications in the Soviet Union. They knew how to survive in conditions that would kill most people. They had trained for this. They had done it before. Igor Dyatlov was 23. He had led dozens of expeditions. His teammates trusted him more than anyone. Zina Kolmogorova was 22. The warmest personality on the team, she filled her journal with small, careful notes about the people she cared about. Lyudmila Dubinina was 21, the youngest, also one of the toughest. The other 6 were equally experienced. These were people who had trained their bodies to survive at -40 degrees. Their destination was Mount Ototen, one of the most demanding routes in the Ural Range. For this team, it was within reach. The last photos they took show them laughing, joking around in the snow, setting up camp, smiling at each other. Igor Dyatlov's final journal entry read, "The weather is good. Looking forward to tomorrow." He wrote that the day before he died. The team's last roll of film held 34 photographs. Hiking, setting up tents, smiling at the camera. The last photo was taken on the afternoon of February 1st, 1959. After that night, nothing. When the team failed to return, a search party was sent out. Days later, they found the tent on a slope at 1,079 meters, cut open from the inside. Boots, coats, and equipment left behind. The first 2 bodies, Yuri Doroshenko and Yuri Krivonyshenko, were found about 300 meters from the tent, beneath a cedar tree. They were in their underwear. There were signs they had tried to start a fire. Igor Dyatlov was found next frozen in place, his body turned toward the tent as if he had been crawling back. Zina Kolmogorova was found the same way, facing the tent, still moving toward it when she died. The last 4 weren't found until 2 months later, buried 4 meters deep in a ravine, huddled close together. And that's when the search party noticed something else. Footprints. Not the frantic scattered tracks of people running in panic. Orderly. Single file. Walking deliberately toward the trees. As if they hadn't been fleeing at all. As if they had made a decision. And here's what's strange. Why did they leave the tent? Every experienced mountaineer knows in -30 degrees, leaving your tent without gear means death. No boots, no coat, no shelter. There is no training that prepares you to make that choice. But they made it. They cut their way out, barefoot, in their underwear, into the dark. Something drove them out of that tent. Something that made freezing to death outside seem better than whatever was happening inside. To this day, no one knows what that something was. The Soviet government sealed off the area immediately. Civilians were banned from the region for 3 years. Investigation records were classified. The official conclusion was a single sentence: death by an unknown natural force. But there was more. Traces of radiation above normal levels were found on some of the bodies. Some skin had turned orange. The cause of death reports were kept classified for decades. Even the Soviet government's own investigation reached no clear conclusion. Over the next 60 years, dozens of theories emerged. secret Soviet weapons testing, an attack by the indigenous Mansi people, though no evidence was ever found to support it. Ayeti, a KGB assassination. A UFO. Every theory explained something. Every theory failed to explain something else. Then, in 2019, a new hypothesis was introduced. A Swiss and Russian research team used computer simulations to propose a small slab avalanche. A mass of snow sliding off the slope, hitting the tent, triggering panic. The internal injuries, they argued, could be explained by the force of snow, not by human hands. Some researchers have combined this with the theory of infrasound, low-frequency sound waves generated by wind moving across certain terrain, frequencies the human ear can't detect, but that can cause extreme disorientation, fear, and loss of bodily control. It remains unverified, but it offers one possible explanation for why 9 trained professionals seem to lose their minds. But here's the question we have to ask. Is this case actually solved? An avalanche can explain why they cut open the tent. Paradoxical undressing, a known effect of severe hypothermia, can explain why they removed their clothing. The terrain can explain the internal injuries. But there are things no theory has fully explained. Why did they stay together? Why, in the middle of that chaos, did they stop to take off their own coats and put them on each other? The first 2 who died had tried to build a fire. The next 2 were found moving back toward the tent. The last 4 were found together in the ravine. The coldest person in the center. The others wrapped around them. Someone had given away their coat. Even in whatever had overtaken them, they didn't leave each other. They were trying to keep each other alive. We still don't know what killed them, but we know this. That night, all 9 of them were trying to survive. Not one of them left that tent to die, and none of them made it home. We don't know what drove them out into the snow, but the fact that they never stopped reaching for each other, that was left behind in the snow too. Igor Dyatlov, Zina Kolmogorova, Lyudmila Dubinina. They didn't climb that mountain to become heroes. They went because they loved the mountains and they wanted to go together. Maybe what we should remember, longer than the mystery of what killed them, is why, even at the very end, not one of them let go. That night, all 9 made the same choice. And 66 years later, we're still asking the same question. What did they see that made them leave that tent